What's good, big time? This RDL here, and I know it's been a minute since I made a video on the channel, and the reasons why I haven't is because I've been focused on my main channel, and I'm currently in college right now, and I haven't had time to finish watching Scream the TV series, so I could do research for my more accurate build for Ghostface for season 2 and 3, but I finally managed to find the time to do it, so let's get into it.
Keeping it G ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it.
For our first perk, we'll be using Mindbreaker because Emma was still suffering from PTSD from the events of the first season, and Ghostface's sick, twisted mind games almost caused Emma's friend group to not trust each other, and it almost drove each other apart. He also traumatized Brooke with the death of her boyfriend Jake. He even framed Emma and Audrey for all of the murders that he committed. The second perk we'll be using is Scarehead because Ghostface is very skilled at cloning other people's phones and tricking them into thinking that the person that they're texting is them. He can also hack into people's computers and send fake emails pretending to be somebody else. The third perk we'll be using is Brutal Strength because he was strong enough to throw a police officer through a mirror and kill him, and he was also strong enough to snap a police officer's neck at a 180-degree angle. The last perk we'll be using is Sloppy Butcher because in this season his kills were a lot more gruesome compared to the first season. For his two add-ons, we'll be using Olsen's address book because he knew where everyone was at all times. For his second add-on, we'll be using Victim's Detailed Routine because he knew everyone's weaknesses and was always one step ahead of everybody. For his offering, we'll be using Cold Farm because in this season there was a lot of focus on the pig farm, and that's my perk build for Ghostface from season 2 of the TV series. And let's play a couple of matches to see how they go, and during those matches I'll be giving y'all my final thoughts on the first and second season of this show, so this video won't be as boring as my previous ones. So starting out, I'm gonna give y'all my final thoughts on the first season. Now, the first season of the show, it started off pretty strong, just like how the movies did. I also like the characters because they feel different from the Scream movies, although there are some similarities to the OG characters. A couple of examples that I have is Emma Duval, who is targeted by Ghostface because of her parents' past, which is similar to what Sidney Prescott goes through with Ghostface in almost every movie. We got Noah Foster, who is a horror fanatic, just like Randy Meeks was. We have Brooke Maddox, who is similar to Tatum Riley from Scream 1, and we have Kieran Wilcox, who is similar to Billy Loomis. And those are just a couple of examples I was able to find. And I'll admit, when I first watched this show a few years ago, I was not a big fan of how Ghostface looked in the show, but as I kept watching it, I didn't mind it too much anymore because the storyline was very interesting to watch. The only thing I didn't like about this season was that it felt pretty slow half of the time, but that's usually how it is during the first season of a TV show. And now that I've given my final thoughts on the first season, I am now going to be giving y'all my final thoughts on the second season in the next match. If you want to skip this match to hear my thoughts, just go to this timestamp that you see on the screen. I think the second season of this show was probably the best one in the entire series because it felt more intense compared to the first season. The kills felt way more gruesome compared to the first season. It also killed off one of its main characters from the first season, which felt pretty more to what happened to one of the main characters in Scream 2. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shocked when Jake died so early in this season. Though one thing I hate about this season was the fact that it was left on a cliffhanger. That's the only thing I hate because I'm pretty sure that we all know that we'll never get a proper conclusion to the original storyline. And the first half of the final episode, which was a 2-hour Halloween special, we get introduced to a new Ghostface, and he seemed a whole lot more supernatural compared to the ones from the first 2 seasons because he snapped a person's neck in a 180-degree angle, which is now physically possible, and he kills Kieran by cutting his throat and stabbing him in the back of his neck. We never got to know who the identity of this new Ghostface killer was because this show ended up getting canceled and rebooted as a standalone show called Scream Resurrection, which I will be doing a video on as soon as I possibly can. The reason why the reboot happened was because MTV supposedly wanted to attract a different audience demographic, which is probably one of the stupidest reasons ever. Also, a little bit of the original story of season 3 and 4, and here's a screenshot of what I found, and you can go ahead and pause to read it. To summarize the original plan for season 3 and 4, it was basically gonna be like Scream 3 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where everything turned out to be a TV show and things started happening to the actors who play the characters, and they have to find out who is killing them off one by one. And in my personal opinion, I'm not really a big fan of this plan because it kind of makes you feel like you got invested into the characters for nothing, but at the same time, I'm pretty curious on how this would have played out, but sadly we'll never know because I'm pretty sure that they have zero plans to finish the original storyline, and plus the original cast of the show are unfortunately too old to play as high schoolers now. It's hard to believe that it's been a decade since this show first aired on MTV. I was literally 10 years old when this show first aired. When I started re-watching this, for some reason I kind of felt nostalgic, and I'm not sure why either. And to this day, I am still disappointed that the show's storyline was never finished. But overall, this show was pretty interesting, entertaining, unpredictable, very well written, and very well acted, and I feel like it deserved much better. And those are my final thoughts for season 2 of this show. If you have any thoughts and opinions about this show overall, please comment down below because I would absolutely love to hear your takes on this show, and enjoy the rest of this match. Well, that's it for this perk build. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notifications. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bust down, new flash, touchdown.